What are your thoughts on resellers buying all the good stuff early at game conventions before it opens to the public?
I've seen this happen firsthand. I've seen it happen to me. Um, it's like anything else. People want to say it's capitalism. Sure. I think it's shitty.
Yeah, it is shitty.
It's very shitty. Now, obviously, sellers do it to protect their own prices. One of the ways it happened to me once was it was in Portland, and one of the bigger sellers that was there, I'm not going to say their name, but I do remember them, bought a couple of the marquee titles at extras of, I think I had let's just say a Mario Kart. Say I had the Mario Kart for probably like $15 to $20.
Yeah.
Let's just say. And then you go to their booth, they have it for $45. And it was my copy. And I recognized the guy that bought it right before it opened.
Right.
And it was like, okay, I see what you're doing. If you're at least honest about it, or maybe like what some guys will do is they'll say, listen, if you sell me what you have, maybe at the end of the last day, give me a good deal on it. If you don't want to get, that's fine. People have said it to me. I think I had some extra boxed NES games I've had over the years. I had like 8 to 10 doubles, and it was like at I think it was SGC. One seller bought it all like the last day. He said he gave me a deal on it, or it was Retropalooza. It was one of them. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But I think it's really bad because a lot of these people are going. They're traveling on planes and they're spending a lot of money on tickets and hotel. And at least I understand that a lot of these conventions, I'm not paying for table space. Well, I'm paying in terms of I'm going there, I'm doing panels and things like that. But I'd like to give some sort of savings back to the people that show up versus having them get charged double that's elsewhere. And that opportunity is taken away from them. And it's shitty because it'd be nice for them to get a deal.
Sure.
Versus, I wouldn't want to go personally. When I go out to these places, I don't want to pay eBay prices. Obviously, I'm traveling to these places. I don't get up at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. to go to swapping to pay eBay prices. What's the point? I can just buy on eBay.
Yeah.
So it's not just shitty because of that they're taking away like a nice experience that they could be getting on top of that. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. I mean, what else can you do or say?
I mean, I just think it's crappy because it's a smaller. When it's at a convention, it's a I don't know, it's a smaller community, and a lot of them are there to see what they can pick up. I feel like everyone should kind of have access to it at the same time. And obviously, it's really hard to police that. It's like at Comic-Con, you're not supposed to sell anything until the floor is open, but, people from other booths will go around, and that's fine, but we're not buying limited stuff, and we're also not buying stuff and then reselling it. We're simply just getting our piece of the pie before you have to start working. But to actually scoop it up off of someone else and then resell that copy, and this is, people bitch all the time about, well, if, I've had people say it to me in the store, well, I'm like, well, this is what the game's going for. I wish it was going for cheaper. I'm sorry. Well, if you wish it was going for cheaper, why don't you sell it for cheaper? Well, because of what you just said, Pat. If you price your stuff too low, in any situation, like a convention or a flea market or even a retail store and there's other retail stores in San Diego, you sell something for $20 that's currently going on average for $40 on eBay, someone's going to buy it and make a $20 profit off of it.
Sure.
You
have to walk this weird line.
Yeah,
I found that out myself firsthand.
Yeah, and it sucks to walk that weird line, but I feel like people just don't take that into account, and that's a very important thing to remember when you're buying stuff. Good people will try to give you a good deal, but they're also trying to watch their back and make sure that they still, and now I'm going outside of conventions, but trying to make sure they still have a business to run.
Sure. And I hate to say it, but the people that have been the most nefarious with me and me selling my extras at conventions have been people that had booths down the way. I remember I usually don't get pissed, but there was one time where I just about did. Because I think it was when I had a bunch of manuals, and I don't know the prices of manuals. That's one thing. NES games, I don't keep up with the price of manuals.
Right.
So I think I had an extra Mega Man 1, which I know goes for a little bit of money at least, like $20 at least, because that's a hard to find one.
At least.
So stuff like that, I had an extra Mega Man 1. I had some other ones, I believe, that were in there. And so I said, okay, I will give you. I think I said to him something to the effect of, I'll give you like. I said to the effect of, all right, I'll count them all up. I'll give you like 20% off, 20% off of, the eBay average sold price. They win, I win, and then so I counted up. I said, okay, this is what you get off this money. And then there was 2 guys there, and one of them, the guy said, "You said 30%." And I said, "No, I never said that." And even the person next to me said, "No." So this motherfucker was trying to somehow trick me or shame me or something to get more of a deal off when I know he was just going to resell them anyway. It was like, I know there's no honor amongst thieves, but it's like, why would you, like, I don't understand, like, you think that's going to work with me? Like, it was really, there's bad people in every sort of walk of a life, but that to me is the worst type of person.
Oh yeah.
That to me is the very worst. You're not just, you're being slimy and dishonest on top of what's already going on. It's like, come on, man, don't do that.